Welcome back to another episode of Plant-Based Dads. I'm Joey. We are a vegan, mostly whole food cooking show. We do some product reviews. Sometimes there's some episodes with Tim. If you like what you hear so far, please hit that like button, show us some love, and please think about subscribing and becoming part of the Plant-Based Dads family. We do have a Patreon page set up. Our patrons are our monthly supporters that help us put the show together and get the plant-based message out to the rest of the world. If you ever watched the show and thought, how can I help? How can I be part of this? Or if you're in the Facebook group, which is a completely volunteer gig for me, full time, and thought, how can I help Joey? How can I be part of this? Well, that's how you can help. You can become a patron, or you can make a one-time donation through PayPal. There's a link below this video in the description that tells you how to do all that. All right, so here's what I'm doing today. I'm gonna talk about some of my knives, and I'm using Dalstrong knives. And it's a really funny story on how this kind of all came to be. The gist of it is Dalstrong saw me cutting with these cheap grocery store knives that I use. You know the ones I'm talking about. And they basically contacted me and said, we're sending you some knives. And I was like, well, you know, I got some knives in the show. And they're like, no, you need real knives. So they sent me some knives, and I've got them right here. They're still in the package. I'm gonna unbox them and see what they're all about. Here's what I didn't tell Dalstrong. I actually already own 2 of their knives, and I've used them in 1 or 2 videos. I've owned the 7-inch cleaver, right, which is just a huge knife, and I own the 10-inch bread knife. Well, I should say Tim's purchased them. I mean, we own them, the 10-inch bread knife. And during Tim's Baking with Tim shows, when he's making a loaf of bread, he uses that 10-inch serrated bread knife, and it's amazing, right? But the other one's, a huge cleaver, a 7-inch cleaver. And for my everyday use of vegetables and all that, I don't need a 7-inch cleaver. So I don't use that, even though, I have it. What I really need, I guess, is some good smaller knives that I can use every day, like vegetable knives and paring knives and all that. So, when they said, hey, I'm going to send you some knives, I said, okay, send me, some smaller knives, like a utility knife, like a basic vegetable utility knife, and send me a paring knife or something, and send me those, and I'll give those a try and see how they work. So that's what they sent me. I'm going to open those up. I'm going to tell you everything I know about this company and why we own 2 of their knives already. Tim actually chose those knives because of their heritage, the way they're made, the way they're forged, and all that. I just use knives. I don't really go into the whole which knife's the best and their history and all that, but Tim does. He learns as much as he can before he buys something. So first, before we go any further, let me just tell you, I'm not paid for this. I'm not sponsored by Dalstrong. They just sent me some knives because they were tired of watching me using grocery store knives. And they're not the only ones. If you check the comments on my videos, you'll see people saying, dude, you're using the wrong knife, right? And I don't comment on those because, I know I'm using the wrong knife. I'm using whatever is cheap from the grocery store. So, I get that, right? So let me tell you a little bit about this company, who is nice enough to send me some knives because they're tired of watching me use cheap grocery store knives. First of all, Dalstrong offers 10 different series of knives. So if you're on the hunt for a new knife, they're gonna have one that's just right for you. Dalstrong is out of Toronto in Canada, and they have warehouses in Canada, the US, and the United Kingdom. So those are kind of where the areas they ship from. All of their knives are manufactured in Yanghang, China, a city famous for the production of knives and scissors. That's what this place is known for. They've been doing it for generations, for hundreds of years. All their blades are made of steel, and all the knives are made in the traditional way with craftsmanship that takes 30 to 60 days for each knife. And if you're in the US, they offer a really nice knife sharpening service where you mail the knife back to them and they sharpen it. You can send 5 to 7 knives at a time, and you'll get them back sharpened, fully sharpened in 4 to 7 days from the time they receive them. The entire sharpening process is done by someone, by a man or a woman, or it's done by a person. So it's not machine sharpened. Let me show you the knives I already own. I'm gonna start with those, all right? So here I've got the Gladiator Series 7-inch cleaver. So they've got these beautiful boxes. They're really hardboard, pictures on the back with all of the information. This is, again, part of the Gladiator series. That's the series that we have. That's the one Tim wanted when he was looking at all these. He thought that was really the best fit for us based on the way they were made. And I'm gonna open this up right here. Now, if you look inside here, it's absolutely gorgeous. You've got this beautiful pin that has Dalstrong Gladiator series on it, so that's really nice. And then you've got this really nice cloth here to just kind of rub the knife and polish it and all that. It's got their brand on it, Dalstrong, and it has the series, the knife series, the Gladiator Series. So that's really, really nice, right? And then you've got the knife. Look at this amazing case. I mean, every time I use this knife, I put it right back in this case when I'm done with it. The knife is really strong. I mean, this is heavy. You can feel the steel in your hand. And it's got a beautiful grip. You can maybe see here, they've got 3 rivets right here, and that middle rivet has the Dalstrong emblem embedded right into the rivet, just like it does on the sheath. Now, the sheath is a really hard plastic. When I pull this out, I can just feel the strength of this knife. You've got the insignia of the knife right here. It's a finely honed edge. This is absolutely beautiful. This does the job. I mean, it's not going to get any better than this right here. Look how beautiful that is, right? I can't go on enough about how heavy this thing is. Like, when you're doing the chopping with this thing, you don't need to push very hard. The knife is going to do all the work. And that's kind of one of the things with knives. You want to let the knife do the work, right? This is going to do it because there's so much weight to this thing. I absolutely love this knife. I treat it like it's a little baby. Like, I wash it by hand, right? And when I'm done with it, I dry it off and I put the sheath back on it, and then I put it back in the case right here, and I make sure that it's ready for my next use. So this knife, definitely one of our prized possessions. Tim put a lot of thought into this when he bought this last year, and he wanted to make sure that we had the best knife for the money, and this was it. So next, we're gonna look at the Gladiator Series bread knife. Now, this bread knife, again, we've owned already because Tim cuts bread all the time because we make a fresh loaf of bread every week, and he needed a good bread knife. We've got the loaves of bread that go into the rack, and then you do the knife to cut the slices and all that. The knife has to go through in one shot each slice, and it needs to be serrated and ready to cut bread. So this bread knife, this is it. So same thing when you open this. You've got this beautiful box with the Gladiator Series bread knife emblem on it. It's just like opening an Apple product when you open that white box and everything inside is so beautiful. And then you've got the knife itself. Again, an absolutely beautiful knife. You've got the sheath here, which is a really hard plastic. And even on this knife, you've got the 3 rivets, and the middle rivet is embedded with their emblem on it. Now, if I take this out, we've used this quite a bit, and so far we've not had to sharpen it. This is just a thing of beauty. When we're using this for bread, there's no chance that bread's not going to get cut. The first time, it's done. It's absolutely beautiful. Again, the weight in my hand of this knife, like, I can't stress enough how heavy this thing is and how ready to work it is. It's just right through. It's like you're using power tools. Again, when we're done with this, I put this back in the sheath, right? And back in its white case after I've washed it and polished it, and it looks just like it did when I first took it out of the box like a year and a half ago. I don't play around with these knives. They don't go in the dishwasher. You should never put a knife in the dishwasher. I don't let them sit out and let stuff like cake on it and oxidize and all that. I use it, I rinse it with clean water, I dry it off with a very soft towel, I polish it a little bit with the rag, put the sheath on it, put it right back in the box, and it's ready to go. These 2 knives are a year old, a year and a half old, and they look brand new as if we just got them. All right, let's open up the knives they sent me. All right, so this one here is the 6-inch Ultimate Utility and Sandwich Knife. This is one that I would probably use every day. So I'm gonna open the packaging here and see what we've got. All right, so you can see here, we've got the Dalstrong emblem on the outside. We've got this beautiful box. It's all green, nice heavy board. It says on the back, sandwich knife. And I can see myself using a sandwich knife often. So I'm gonna open this up here. It looks like you just pull this from the bottom right here. And the case is made just like the other one. It's got a little flip right here that you kind of just open right here. And look at that. It's absolutely beautiful. Here we've got a little care and maintenance card type of thing, right? So it's just a card that you can lay on the counter or put somewhere. And it tells you about, make sure you hand wash it, mild soap detergent, dry immediately. It goes through all of those things on how to care for your knife. Then it has a little thing saying, happy, let us know. Not happy, let us know. We want to know. I don't know how you could not be happy about this, but let's look at that. Then you've got this little book here that tells you all about the care and use of your knife, how it was made, how it was forged. It's a little bit of history. I mean, this is a lot of personal information about your knife. Some of the other knives they offer, how to protect it, all that stuff. So nice little book with a lot of information in it. Then there's a card in here that says welcome to the Dalstrong family and how to join their social media and all that stuff. So you can get in on all the specials they're having and chat with some of the other people who are using these knives too, just like you. Then of course we've got the little pin here showing it's the Gladiator Series. And now let me see what this baby's all about, because I haven't opened this one yet, so I want to see this. All right, it's got, again, a nice plastic sheath on it. It's absolutely gorgeous. And again, the weight of this knife just makes me feel like I can do many things in the kitchen. And look at that, right? What a beautiful knife. This is what I need for cutting vegetables. This is the size I've kind of been waiting for, right? I absolutely love this. I can feel this in my hand. This gives me the feeling of power. It feels like I can accomplish anything in the kitchen. And I absolutely love this. So I'm going to use this today and give it a little trial run. But for now, let's put it in the sheath and let's set it aside while I open the other knife that I got. The other knife they sent me here is the mini 5-inch Santoku knife. I just wanted two smaller knives. That was it. So that's how I wound up with a 5-inch knife. All right. This is kind of a little baby chef knife, which is what I wanted. Again, the same cards and all that stuff that come in here with the pin. And here it is right here. Let's give this a shot. Again, nice plastic sheath. And look at that. That is a little baby chef knife. I mean, this is kind of the knife size that I use. If you watch the show, you'll see that I use a knife just this size for cutting basically everything. So I absolutely love this. You can see all the divots in here. It's well made. It's a premium carbon German steel blade. It's got the rivets in here to hold it all together. This is absolutely beautiful. And again, the weight in my hands is just stunning. So I'm pretty excited that I now have two really good knives in the size that I need. That was kind of what was holding me back before. Both of these new knives are perfect for me. And these are what I'm going to be using from here on in to cut my vegetables and my fruits and all that. So I'll be putting these to the test over the next couple of weeks. But I'm pretty sure I know what the outcome's going to be. We've had those other knives for like over a year now, and I absolutely love them. All right, let's put these to work and see what we can do with them. All right, I'm going to try my two new knives out here. I'm going to give this a shot. I've got some things to cut. First of all, I've got a cucumber, so I'm going to cut my cucumber with this new utility sandwich knife. So I'm going to take off the top piece right here, which cuts really nice. I'm afraid I'm cutting through the cutting board now, right? And I'm going to take off the bottom piece here, right through. It's absolutely beautiful. And then I'm just going to kind of go through, and you can kind of see the knife's kind of doing all the work. Now, I'm not a chef or anything, so don't give me a headache about that. But I'm just pushing the knife forward, and it's kind of going down by itself because of the weight, right? And it's got a serrated edge, so it's just ripping right through this cucumber. So absolutely beautiful. I'm loving that right there. Next, I've got some potatoes. So I'm going to move this aside right here. And I'm going to grab one of these potatoes. I'm going to be air frying these later on, so I have potatoes all week. And I'm going to open my Santoku knife, which is the 5-inch mini chef knife. And this is kind of the knife that I'm probably going to use most of the time. So these are just raw potatoes. I've just washed them because they're about to be cooked. Let's give it a shot on this. Oh, right through. Like, this is absolutely beautiful. Like, watch this, right? Like, it just goes in by itself. It's so nice. I'm applying very little pressure to this. Like, I'm just pushing forward, and that potato doesn't have a chance, right? Very nice. I wish you can feel this. The ease of use of this is just amazing. Really, really nice. And I've got beautifully cut potatoes. So that's kind of my knife review today. I've got two new knives from Dalstrong. Thank you so much, Dalstrong, for sending those to me. I absolutely love these, and I'm going to use them on every episode. I've got my original two knives from Dalstrong that I absolutely love, and that Tim bought because he put like weeks of research into which knives to get. And now I feel like we have a complete set of kitchen knives from the very best. If you're interested in any of these knives, there'll be a link below this video on how you can purchase them. And Dalstrong was also nice enough to sponsor a giveaway where they're going to let us give away one of their knives. So I'm going to set that up at some point here in the future once I get that all worked out with them. And hopefully some lucky winner at some point will have a chance to experience exactly what I just did with these absolutely amazing knives. That's our video for today. Please hit that like button, show us some love. What's not to like? We have beautiful knives. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. You'll get notified every time we have a new video, usually every Monday. And please leave a comment below. Are you finally glad to see me using real knives? Or did you not really care that I was using those cheap grocery store knives? They were pretty bad. The paint's coming off them and all that. Like, it's not a pretty sight. Do you use Dalstrong knives? What knives you're using? What's your experience with them? Have you had one sharpened? Have you sent like 5 or 7 of them away to the sharpening plant to be sharpened and got them back? What was your experience on that? I would love to hear it. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.